Welcome back. It's The Rush. We've got Tristan Dellos on the program. And Tristan, what a start to the season for the Pineview Panthers. Two really fun games. And we're going to start with your game-winning sack against Cedar. They had the ball down by 4 in plus territory, and this sack put them away. I'll play it, and you kind of tell us what was happening from your perspective here.
Okay. So when we lined up, we were doing a blitz with both outside linebackers on the edge.
Okay.
So when we get off, I have an inside call, so I'm attacking the inside shoulder of their tackle. Um, and then on the other side, we have Christian who gets really good pressure on that top, and then the quarterback has to step up. So when he steps up, I have that inside shoulder of the tackle, and I'm able to shed and get to the quarterback.
Nice. What was that feeling like when that play ended the game?
Um, it felt amazing. And that was that's my second varsity game, and it felt amazing to have a game-winning play like that.
Wow, what a way to win it! And like I said, really impressive. I mean, the offense has been great too. I mean, the numbers that Coy's putting up with his receiving core have been awesome, and then you guys have been coming through with big stops at big times. All right, before we talk more about you, Tristan, I wanted to ask you about Christian Carlson. You just alluded to him coming off the edge on that play. He's had a heck of a season. What have you liked from what he's brought to the Panthers so far this year?
I love how fast he plays. Like he's always at the ball making tackles. He's probably our best tackler on the team. When we need him to blitz, he can blitz. Like on that play, he made the quarterback step up, and I was able to get him. He does pretty much everything they ask him to do. He's great.
And then another guy I've been impressed with is Chase Lefevre, who's been a guy that coming into the season, you guys are really counting on to be a playmaker, and he's had another great start to the year too, right?
Yeah, he's been really, really good. Like down the field on that play right there, like they could not throw the ball deep. They want to run 4 verticals. No one was open, and we were able to pressure the quarterback and get the sack.
And then we got to talk about Mad Dog, right? How's he been the first couple of games?
He is everywhere on the field. Like down the middle, no one can run up the middle on him. Then pass rush, he gets it done no matter where you line him up. He's just an amazing player.
Okay, cool. And then let's talk about you. What in your first couple of games here? What have you been pleased about? Obviously, these big plays, and you can go watch more on Tristan's Huddle. Everybody, some of the plays he made against Cedar. But what's something you've been pleased about with your performance, and then maybe something you're still looking to kind of take to the next level in week 3?
I've thought so far my pass rush has been pretty good. We line up from like four tech, so often I have to take different angles to get to the quarterback. But I thought I've done a good job containing, and then when it matters most, I've been able to get the sack. Um, I think so far one of my struggles so far has just been holding my ground against larger linemen. Against Cedar, they had me at nose for most of the game, and their center was really, really strong. So I had to put in a ton of work just to hold my ground against him. I hope to improve my run defense, though.
Okay, excellent. Been fun to watch. And then, what do you think about this offense? I mean, Coy's got more yards than anybody else in the state. You got 3 receivers who are averaging 100 yards per game. I don't think anybody has that much production in the pass game in the receiving core. This is a group that's going to put up points, and it's just going to be on you guys to make some stops, right?
Yeah, the offense has made our job so much easier than what it would have been without him. Like in that last game against Cedar, we needed to get some stops. We got the stops, and our offense did everything we needed to go and win the game. I mean, against Manti, our offense just put up so many yards. They made our job a lot easier because they were forced to pass the ball way more than they wanted to, and just, our offense has been really, really good. I'm very happy to be with them.
And then lastly, I guess I'll ask you about Coach Smith calling the defense. What's a game day like? I mean, the 2 games you've played in have been fun. They've been a lot of action. They've been close. What's that kind of roller coaster ride of a Friday night been like for you? Like you said, playing your first couple of varsity games.
Coach Dre is just super, super intense. Like everything we do is based on intensity and doing our job. Like if everyone does their job right, we will be just fine. Love what he brings to the team. Really amazing to have him as a coach.
Awesome. Tristan Dellos, everybody. Pineview is hosting Campbell out of Hawaii, who I don't know a ton about. I did a little research earlier. It looks like they're a pretty dang good team out of Hawaii and pretty big, too, right? They're practicing, I think, at Pineview tonight. So we're looking forward to this game on Friday at Panther Field. Tristan, thanks for making time for us, buddy. Congratulations on an epic win in week 2, and we'll be rooting for you on Friday night.
Thank you. Thanks for hosting me.
All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll be back right after this on The Rush. Sponsored by Grass Creek Construction, bringing visions to life for over 20 years. Welcome back. It's The Rush. Quarterback U presented by ProLook. All the best looking teams around the state outfitted by ProLook. Go check out ProLook.com. You design it, they build it better at ProLook. We got JBT Judd Thompson here from our Quarterback U headquarters up in Lehigh, Utah. And how the heck are you, Judd?
Doing good. Lehigh's licking our wounds a little bit. Varsity lost 42-0 at home. So not ideal, but we're getting after it this week.
Mount Ridge looks to be a contender. Holy cow.
Yeah, they're not messing around. Beating Lehigh and Sky Ridge back-to-back weeks. They did well in the portal.
And Davis, they got Davis tonight. Okay, so we're breaking out Brady Muir from Mountain Crest, Judd. Watching film, what does Mountain Crest like to do offensively?
Yeah, I'll say multiple. I saw him take a snap under center.
Oh, really? So we got a little difference here.
Under center, did a little play action, and then he went back to shotgun. But they had, multiple times with a few backs in the backfield, kind of a wing or a tight end look. So still spread, but I'll call this one multiple because I did see him under center, at least for a snap last year. I didn't see his stuff this year, but last year he was under center for a minute.
Okay, excellent. Let's see what jumps off the film with how Brady plays quarterback.
Yeah, I think the way I would describe him is he's throwing the ball to be caught by his team, meaning he's throwing balls in the region of where the players are. And when he's throwing a deep post or a streak, he's throwing it to a spot where his receiver has a chance, not necessarily trying to show how far he can throw the ball, but he's really trying to give his team an opportunity to catch the pass, which is great. I mean, his ability to put balls in the area where they should be, his receivers are making plays. I mean, I think he's throwing for like 380 a game through two games, which is crazy.
Yeah, he's got crazy numbers. One of the top guys in the state. I think he's second in the entire state with total yards through 2 games. What was the best throw you saw him make?
Yeah, I mean, so it's hard to tell if this is Uinta or it's Bear River. But there's a team in red so Mountain Crest is playing at home last year, and it's a 4th down. He kind of gets some pressure, so he has to step up, and from an awkward angle, he's able to hit what I think is a, tight end type kind of in the middle of the field. I was impressed with that one because a lot of times in high school when you get pressure, you either panic and chuck it somewhere or you just put your head down and run. And he kept the play alive, didn't really have his feet in a great position, but still made an accurate throw and converted a 1st down. I was thinking that it was a massive play, but when I checked the score, I think they won like 56-0. So it may not have been a crucial moment in the game, but it was still a nice throw on a 4th down.
Okay, who does he remind you of?
Yeah, I mean, so this kid may not even know who I'm going to reference here because he's been out of the game for a minute, but I can't see his number 12 and the way he moves his feet, kind of his throwing motion, capable runner, I'm sure he's got a great jawline. I see Andrew Luck just with his
Wow.
smooth throwing motion, better runner than you think, faster than
Yeah.
you think. And I know alumni like Kelsey Nelson and the Nelson family are excited about Mountain Crest and the Muir kid up there. So a big game this week. Two undefeated teams going at it up there. So
Oh yeah, yeah. I love the Nelson family too. Okay, Judd. Well, love that. We'll be watching and seeing how Brady does this week. And how about the junior pioneers this week? How we looking up there in the youth leagues?
yeah, we got the team on the East this week. We don't say their name, but we're playing the crosstown rivals. Seventh grade A team will be at Lehigh Junior
Team
at
on the
noon on
East.
Saturday.
What color are they?
They wear orange and silver.
Oh, okay. I read you.
So we
Okay.
don't, yeah, we prefer to not say their name on game week. So we're had a good practice last night with the boys. We'll be ready on Saturday.
Okay, we look forward to a recap of how that went next week when we talk here on QBU. That's JBT, Judd Thompson, quarterback U presented by ProLook. Thanks a lot, Judd.
All right, Andy.
We'll take a break. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back. It's The Rush presented by Appliance Wholesalers. Plus, if you need a fridge, an appliance, washer, dryer, AWP has got all the wholesale pricing on the best products. Samsung, GE, LG, the Cafe Series. Beautiful showroom here in Southern Utah. And they love Region 9 Sports. They've been supporting it for over 20 years. All these kids playing sports down here in Southern Utah. Okay, here we go, Larry. What do we got? Who is going to have the most receiving yards tonight in the Mountain Ridge Davis game? Well, this is a fantastic question because there are a million great receivers, D1 talents in this matchup. What Mountain Ridge is doing offensively has been super impressive. I mean, Jackson Hunt came into the season with a boatload of expectations, and he has come through in the first two games against elite competition, starting with Skyridge and then going to Lehigh, putting up 40 burgers over and over again. Davis looked awesome against Fremont. Slow start, obviously, week one against Corner Canyon, but I think they're just going to keep getting better, keep getting more in sync with Brody Scheinberg at quarterback, the transfer from St. John Bosco. So, to answer your question and not filibuster too much here, Larry, you got Bodie, you've got Jackson Itheahau. I'm dreadfully sorry for how I pronounce that. Sam Coleman, Cooper Rigby, a bunch of playmakers for Davis. For Mountain Ridge, obviously Titan DeYoung. That matchup with him, with Jackson Hunt trying to get the ball to Titan DeYoung on the long ball, and then you've got Coleman and Bodie Sparrow back there. This is a great matchup. I mean, this is going to be a world-class chess match. You've got Peary on one side. You've got Coach Robbins on the other side. Chess match. These guys know ball. It's going to be a big challenge for Mountain Ridge tonight, but a fun one. The other guy I wanted to talk about is Xander Thayer. Xander Thayer is a home run hitter, Larry. He's got 5 catches this year, I believe. Double check that. 40 yards a pop. All he does is hit home runs down the seam, down the sideline. Hunt's got great ability with him and connection with him to score touchdowns and hit them long. Jordan Klassen. McCray Renteria, who I think is going to have a big game. He's only gotten a couple targets this year. Just a young guy, but I think he's a guy in the holster that he'll have a huge game coming up soon. Bennett Nielsen's been great too. He's got over 100 yards this year for Mountain Ridge. But, it's going to be a great matchup. Like I keep saying, Thursday nights usually stink for football, not in Utah high school football. We've had great matchups every Thursday night. Coach Robbins at Mountain Ridge. I was talking to Paul Peterson, who used to coach with him a few years ago at Utah Tech, and he said, that's a smart guy. That is a smart young man who's calling the plays for Mountain Ridge, and he's got a bunch of talent this year. So this should be a fireworks show, and looking forward to it. Mountain Ridge, over 5.5 yards per carry against those defenses, running the ball. Skyridge and Lehigh, they're up over 5.5. We've talked over and over again about Bradley Foster, what a stud he's been for the Sentinels. So to answer your question, Larry, I'm going to go with Bodie Sparrow. Question number 2. Top offenses through 2 games. Okay, well, let's start with, we're just going to go total points scored through 2 games here, Larry. We're going to keep it simple. Let's start with number 5. We got a tie at 5th. We've got Mountain Crest, 95 burger, Larry. Through 2 games, they've scored 95 points. Brady Muir, 367 yards last week, 4 touchdowns on 77%. Incredible. Kale Olsen and Brock Hunter at receiver have been great, and then Tate Page is over 6 yards per carry for the Mustangs. Running the ball, they've been tremendous. Super impressive start to the season for Muir and the Mustangs. Also at 95 points through 2 games, Spanish Fark. That's right, Hucken Rasmussen. They look like Ohio State out there, the way they can score points. 95, they've given up 92 points, so only a 3-point differential. A lot of those obviously go back to week 1 against Snow Canyon, that triple overtime game, Larry, against the Warriors, and then a huge win against rival Salem Hills last week. Tate Page is over 6 yards, or excuse me, James Buck is over, I think, 5-6 yards per carry for the Dons. Nixon Warren is one of the best playmakers in the state. Super fun to watch him play. He's electric. He could go and play a couple of different sports, I think, for a P4. Number 4, Hurricane, 96 points. Hurricane Tigers, Virgin Valley, Moapa Valley. Their schedule will get tougher, but a big concern, I think, for a lot of Tigers fans was how are we going to replace the production of Austin McRoberts, Lightning McRoberts, who was so tremendous last year as kind of the dynamic, hand him the ball, sweep him the ball, throw him the ball type of guy. Well, Titan Borchert has really kind of filled those shoes pretty well through 2 games. He had a hat trick last week against Moapa. He had 3 touchdowns, 74 receiving yards as well for him. RJ Allred, tough as nails. We talked about Cannon Cowan last week, how strong he is as a runner. He executes the game plan with throwing the ball, and he goes both ways. He plays safety. Tanner Matua, he's getting double teamed every play, and he's splitting them. He's swimming them. He's getting in the backfield, putting people down. We love watching Tanner play. So 96 points for the Hurricane Tigers. They're favored big against Murray, who ironically, Larry, is next at number 3, 97 points. Sparty. And we wanted to point out Jagger J. Race Car. That's what we call him. He had 105 yards receiving last week and a punt return. Look at how quick this kid is. He's lightning in a bottle. Drew Royce, 4 touchdowns last week against Taylorsville. He had 2 pass and 2 rush touchdowns. Liking seeing Murray have a heck of a start to the season. It'll get tougher against Hurricane. But what number did Noland have this game at, Larry? I thought it was Hurricane by like 30 plus or maybe even 40 plus. We'll see what Murray has to say about that number on Friday, right? Okay, so Murray is 3rd at 97. And then we got a tie for 1st. Most points scored in the state through 2 weeks. We're going with the Kanab Cowboys. 99er Larry. Deegan Swap, Latimer Glover at running back. They've been awesome. Last week, 9 different Cowboys carried the ball, and the team was over 9 yards per carry. Grady Anderson, he's got to be over 80% with his completion. He only just had to throw it about 10 times a game, and he completes just about every one of them. He's been fantastic. The defense has been great. Kanab has got a tough one against San Juan. That's going to be one of the best games this week. San Juan versus Kanab. Kanab tied for 1st through 2 weeks, points scored 99. Also at number 1, Box Elder. Caden Reyes and Judd Howells are like one of those great Rich Rodriguez teams, West Virginia back in 07, or Michigan with Shoelace Robinson, where you've got one of the best backs in the state in Howells who you can just ISO and he'll get a bunch of yards. He had 170 last week against Bear River, or 180. Don't want to short him. Don't want to short you, Judd. Maybe it was 185 or something like that. And then Caden Reyes had over 100 yards, and he broke one for like 60, 70 yards on a touchdown. So they're super impressive. Only had to throw it 5 times against their rival. And Bear River, to me, looks much improved this year. That was a game. I think a year ago, it wasn't a game. It was a blowout. This year, that was a back and forth. Bear River had the lead. Boxelder had that big play. Did they have a kick return too in that game, Larry, if I remember correctly, and then extended and got to 50? But Bear River is going to challenge, I think, this year. But Box Elder got over 300 yards on the ground and ended up winning that game and scoring 50. So they had 50 week 2 and 49 week 1. That's the Box Elder Bees and the Kanab Cowboys, top 2 scoring offenses through 2 weeks in the state. Boom! Good job, Larry. All right, now we're zooming in on Hunter Volleyball, and I think we've got a little clip here we're wanting to show Lawrence. The Hunter Wolverines, 3-0 on the year with kind of impressive showings in all 3 matches against big schools. They swept Riverton 3-0 as well against Olympus, and then Timpview they beat 3-1. And here's this is going back to their first match of the season, right? Here's Marley Vera with a dig. The libero puts it up, and then they put it down. They've got 2 killers on the outside. Here's Sheila Tolutau with an ace on the serve there. Leilani Salapanga is going to put it down with the right-handed hammer there on the back line. And like I said, they swept this matchup. Mele Uhila is going to put one on right back at Riverton with a block there. And then Summer Fuimaono with an ace with the left-handed hook. And then she also kills it from the left side as well. Here's Medeline Wolfgram with a block. They've got a great front line, Larry. Hunter Wolverines, let's get a couple of them on the show hopefully next week as Sheila Tolutau is going to put another ace down for the Wolverines. Way to go, Larry. Good job. Love seeing that. That's a heck of a team and a heck of a start to the year for Hunter. All right, boom. Here we go. What do we got next? Oh, Manti girls soccer, 8-1. Their only loss was to Morgan. But Manti has scored 54 goals, which I believe is tops in the state, and they've only given up 5. This is a special group. They're at Canyon View today. Chloe Olson has 11 goals. Madison Bridges has 9. Brenna Larson has 9. And Mackenzie Chittister has 8. So tons of offense. Several games where they're scoring 8 goals. And let me just say, let's get some of these highlights on Huddle or something. Larry couldn't find them anywhere. Could you, Larry? Couldn't find a video of any of these. So we're going to try to get some of these star players for Manti, the Templars soccer program. By the way, is it Templars or Templars? Because I talked to the football players. The whole interview I was saying Manti Templars. And then they were, at the very end of the interview, said Templars, and I felt like the biggest horse's ass in 3 counties. So maybe it's Templars. So we need to get some Templars on the show for the girls' soccer team because they've had a heck of a start to the season. 54 goals in 9 games. What is that? Is that 6 or 7? 6 or 7 goals a game. It's incredible. I can't do the math. All right. Back to Larry's questions here. What is your best Friday night game this week? Friday night. Because tonight you got Davis and Mount Ridge. Saturday, I believe, is when Orem and Mater Dei play, which Orem's got a shot, in that game. I mean, American Fork played a respectable game against Mater Dei. I think Orem. I think that's going to be a great game. Anyway, for Friday, I already talked about San Juan and Kanab. Bo Yeomans is must-see TV. And then Kanab is running the ball like crazy and has just got a great team with a bunch of workhorses on it. So that's probably number 1. I mean, I think that's going to be a great game. I think San Juan's favored by Nolan by like 11. I think it might be closer than that. So I probably put that up there. One I'm looking forward to is Olympus Westlake. I haven't seen a lot of Westlake so far this year, but I'm circling that one. Snow Canyon Cedar, an old Region 9 matchup. Always love seeing these. It was a fantastic game when Cedar played Pineview in week 2, and I think the Snow Canyon game is going to be great. They're coming off that loss against Layton Christian. And Cedar's coming off that loss against Pineview. Manti-Grantsville, that's a rivalry, and Noland has it less than, I think it's like a pick 'em, like a 0-point differential. So that'll be another good one. I know there's a million others, but I'd probably put those 4 on the top of my list. Any other ones that you want to talk about, Larry? I just think Snow Canyon, going back to that game, I think they've got firepower, as we know, and I just think they're going to tighten the screws a little bit defensively. And really, against Layton Christian, you give up 21. I think Layton Christian's a 4A type of school with all the talent they have and how big they are on that line of scrimmage. And Chris Monroe is a stud at running back, and they're going to eat some people alive. And Snow Canyon kept it respectable and probably felt like if they had some things kind of tightened up, maybe they would have won that game. But Cedar, I was talking about how Bo Yeomans is must-see TV. Cedar's offense is must-see TV at any game they play. So I'm kind of talking myself into maybe moving Snow Canyon Cedar up the list. Grantsville, I haven't seen a lot of Grantsville. Shame on me, Larry. But we'll be watching this Friday night. Okay, last question. What do you think of lightning delays? I would say get rid of them. Just get rid of them. Who cares? It's enough already with the lightning delays. I mean, every week there's like 20 lightning, especially early in the season. Some about August and the pressure system and the warmth or whatever and the lightning delays. We got to sit there for 30 minutes like idiots. I would say make it 10 minutes. Take the kids off the field. Take any kid who's got over a 3.0 GPA off the field. The rest of us can stay in the rain. But I just feel like it happens way too much, and it just kind of kills the vibe of the whole game. I mean, there was like a hour delay, and then there's been a 90-minute delay. I can't remember what game. It seems like every game I was watching last Friday, there was a lightning delay. So I would, if I was in charge of everything, I would just say, just pretend like you didn't see it. By the way, who were the tattletales? Because I've been in the press box before calling games, and out of the corner of your eye, 20 miles away, you see out in Mesquite, you see a lightning thing, and you just pretend like you didn't see it, and you don't. I don't know who's reporting it to the referees every time because they're busy. They're looking at the game. They're not going to notice every lightning strike, but it seems like anytime, anything, some eager, somebody's reporting it, and then we got to sit there for a 30-minute delay. So I don't know. This will never happen. I understand safety comes first, but what I'm saying is enough with the safety. Everything is too much safety. There's a thing as being too safe and killing the vibe of the game. So I would say enough of that. Okay, Larry, great job. We want to thank Tristan Dellos for being on the program today for Pineview. Speaking of 2 awesome games to start the season, Pineview, not just the offense, but Tristan was the guy who made the game-winning sack against Cedar. Appreciate him coming on the program, and appreciate... I got to thank our buddy Brandon Yates at Nets on Fire, who knows these Region 9 basketball players better than anybody, for being on the show and talking about several kids today. And looking forward to tomorrow. We'll be putting out a bunch of game day previews. Right, Larry? We'll be putting those out hopefully tomorrow early morning, so there's plenty of time for people to preview the matchups. What we normally do is we pick the games that Noland has as kind of less than 10 points because, Noland's at 75% or something picking games, but for the most part, He's the man. We love Nolan Perry. It's fun when he's wrong, but we give him kudos because he's right a lot. So we look at the matchups. We kind of determine the ones that we think will be close games, and those are the ones. So if you're thinking, like, why the heck hasn't my team been previewed on a game day segment? It's likely because you ended up winning the game by 40, and there's a million games. We got to pick and choose, 7 to 10 games a week to do previews on. And that's kind of how we do it. We love Bucks Ace Hardware. Game day every week, built by Bucks Ace. We love Bucks. 3 Southern Utah locations. Not just a great store to go get your lawn care or your hardware or whatever. It's a great store to just go chill on a Friday before the game or the Saturday after the game, because you're walking around as part of the community. Everybody's a neighbor in there. They give you a warm, fresh popcorn. You're walking around. You got your family. Your wife loves all the home decor. Your kids love all the games and the toys. You love all the weed eaters and stuff like that. So, and you just see a bunch of people. Hey, were you at the game? Oh, what a game! Like, could you believe Snow Canyon's triple overtime win? Or can you believe what Titan Borchardt's doing for the Hurricane Tigers? You kind of go back in time to the old Main Street feel at Bucks Ace, instead of being huddled up in your house just ordering Uber Eats and not seeing anybody except your children all day. So we love Bucks Ace Hardware, and we love doing game day built by Bucks Ace every Friday. All right, Larry, great job. Decent questions today. We'll try to do better tomorrow. Thanks for being with us on The Rush. Send us your highlights, Andy at therushutah.com or anywhere on social media at The Rush Utah. It's The Rush Utah, high school sports every day.